Well, good morning everybody. It's just after 9 o'clock in South Australia. I'm at Goolwa, which is about an hour and a half drive from Adelaide, and it's where the River Murray goes into the sea. And this little spot I'm in now is a bird hide that I've been here a couple of times in the past, probably 3 or 4 times, and it's one of my favourite little spots. And I'm just using this as a base for doing a bit of a video on YouTube of some photos that I'll be taking and some cameras I'll be using while I'm down here. We go back tomorrow night, I think. So anyway, here we are. The birds you can hear in the background. I'll just stop. Oh, there's a car going past now, but I'll just stop and you can hear the birds in the background. Just listen. They've gone quiet on me now. One of my favourite birds is the Australian Reed Warbler, and it's just out here in these reeds here. And for many years I've heard them all around Australia but never been able to photograph them. And last year when we were here, I actually managed to get some shots. And yesterday afternoon I came in here and I got a couple more shots of the Reed Warbler again, so I was very privileged. It was quite amazing. There was a couple of young teenagers in here when I arrived yesterday who were travelling around Australia with their parents, and they were here just bird watching, and they had a bird book and binoculars, and I reckon they knew more about birds than I did. I was amazed and staggered and really happy to see someone else is carrying the baton for us older geezers. Anyway, that was good. So I'm here with 4 cameras. When I go away on these little short holidays, it's always a pain because I never know what to bring with me. So I've got a Canon 600D, and this one's got an 18 to 55 zoom on it, which is good for landscapes and not so telephoto type shots, wide angles and whatever. And this one here is my Canon 700D, and I've just got a standard kit lens, 75 to 300 zoom lens that I've had on it for ages, but it's really quite good when you're in situations like this. Better turn it on. I don't know what's happening now. I've probably got it on manual focus. That's what I've got it on. Because sometimes when these reeds are flying around, you have trouble using autofocus when you're trying to isolate a bird within the reeds. And also, I brought a couple of film cameras with me, and I might, not straight away, I've got a 200 ISO film in both of these, and I'm going to put them through their paces. I took some shots with one of them yesterday with the Minolta, and the Pentax I'll use as well today. So there you go. They've both got the same film in them, 200 ISO, I think there's 24 shots in them, colour, I think it's Kodak. This one here is, I've talked about the Pentax KX before, and this is as good as the Pentax KX and better in my opinion. It's the Minolta, there you can hear those little warblers now. It's the Minolta XG-M. I'll just hold it up to you there. It's a beautiful camera, and it's got the same as on the KX. It's got a little window in the front here where you can actually see the aperture you've chosen on the lens barrel, and you've got an automatic setting, and also you can use the camera manually as well. So it's a beautiful little camera. I don't know whether I can do anything with it just here at the moment. No, I won't waste a shot on that, because there's too much contrast light coming through that window and on here. So anyway, I've got a flash with me. So that's that little one. And then this one is the Pentax MG. Beautiful little camera. I've got a 35 to 70 constant f4 zoom on that. And this one is aperture priority, and you can have one non 100th of a second is the flash sync speed, so you can set it on that, but the rest of the time you're shooting on auto, so it's not as versatile. And you've got B, but you do have a PC socket, I think, on here somewhere. Where did I see that? Maybe not. Anyway, I'll do a complete review of these cameras later on. I'm favouring that they're very similar size, and you know, nice optics, Pentax and Minolta of course. But when I've got the photos back from these 2 cameras on this shoot, I'll then put them up probably separately to what I'm doing today. So when I do this video and I complete it, I'll show you some shots I've been taking on the Canon 600D and the Canon 700D. So there you go. It's a beautiful little spot. Goolwa is a fantastic place. It's where the River Murray enters the sea. There's lots of birds down here, and this is a nice peaceful spot. I'll just let you listen to those birds. Now they're going to stop. If I talk, they might. See that? I talked and he started chirping. Hello, Warbler. Look at that, and you can hear a few frogs in the background too. It's a beautiful day here. I can see terns come in and dip over this water here. There's swans out there and ducks, and you get the odd bird of prey come over. There's one coming over now. That's not sure what that one is. And there's a little bird chasing it, not liking what it's doing. So I might see if I can get a shot of that from here. Whoops, I pushed the thing too far and I got the... I think that might be on the capabilities of this lens and this camera to get that shot from that distance. He's a fair way away. I can't focus on him. Anyway, there you go. I'll be taking a lot of shots here. I'll take some now, and hopefully you'll enjoy the slideshow after I finish these next couple of days. And then later on, once I've got the films back from those two cameras, I'll do a bit better review on the cameras and show you what I took, what I captured today. So once again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. But before I do that, I'll just take the, I'll just stop the camera on the phone, and I'll just go out and walk back in here again just to show you what this bird hide's like as you come in from the road. So beautiful lagoon here. It's a nice day, a little bit of a breeze. It's going to be probably about 18 down here today, but the breeze is cooling things down a bit. Up here we'll have a list of the birds that are in this little thing. There's a bird of prey coming up. No, it's a crow, sorry. Just come in. It's all made out of wood, and it's out in the middle of all these reeds and a little lagoon here. So there you go. There's a list of what's here. There's a royal spoonbill, yellow-billed spoonbill, large egret, black swan, white-faced heron, Australian pelican, white ibis, straw-necked ibis, black cormorant, pied cormorant, little black cormorant, grey butcherbird, fan-tailed cuckoo, singing honeyeater, red-necked avocet, welcome swallow, Australian magpie, up in the top right there, the willy wagtail, common skylark, the Nankeen kestrel. That might have been what I saw flying over before. That's a bird of prey. White-fronted chat, swamp harrier, could have been a swamp harrier though. Mask plover, duck species, tern species, silver gull, swamp hen, dusky moorhen. You might have seen one before, one of those swamp hens walking past that sign I showed you before. The banded stilt, and visiting migratory species is the green shank, the Japanese snipe, the sharp-tailed sandpiper, and the spotted crake. There you go. So this is this little bird hide. It's a beautiful little spot, and in the hot summer time it's actually quite cool in here because of the ventilation that comes through. And there you go. There's all my bits and pieces, my camera gear down there, and I'll just have a look out the window there. Here's the frogs. So Now most of these slides about to come up were taken just immediately after I did these videos, yesterday in fact and the day before, and then we're going to move into some slides that I took around about the same time last year. So just sit back and watch these. These are shots taken in the last few days using my Canon 600D and 700D. This is generally foliage. There's a nice duck over there, a couple of ducks here who were foraging around the whole time we were there. Over behind those big sand hills you'll see the big ocean afterwards. Now this is the Reed Warbler that we've got here that was making all the noise. Beautiful little birds, but very hard to photograph, very elusive. You hear them but you don't see them. It's a cormorant. Looks like a little cormorant, I think they're called. That's a swan, one of our black swans. Showing the car park entrance, just a shot from the side of the bird hide. This is in the area just around the bird hide. That's, oh, now we're back walking into the bird hide. That's a swamp hen or something like that walking into the bird hide ahead of me. And then he decided to go right. That's a little New Holland honeyeater on one of the bushes there. Very common in South Australia, and we get them in our backyard here all the time. Whenever you get good light, you should take a photograph. I love this sort of backlighting on these sort of shots. Another shot from another angle just showing the lagoon. Once again, that back up over those sand hills in the distance is where the big surf beaches are. You'll see some shots taken last year there. I love doing this sort of thing, just blurring out the background and have the reeds just blowing in the wind. There's the bird of prey coming down. I think it could be a swamp harrier, I'm not sure. A few ducks out on the lagoon there. Beautiful colour and contrast there. Ducking down for something, ducking up, and they are ducks, so they do a lot of ducking. One up, one down. Beautiful white heron. He was just hiding in the shadows for quite a while before he came out and let me take photographs of him. He was diving into the water. It's quite shallow in the water there, and he was walking around in there really, but every now and then he'd dive down and grab something. Now these are banded stilts that flew in from nowhere. 3 of them came in, and they're beautiful birds. They didn't stay too long. I think they heard me talking to another gentleman that turned up and they decided to shoot through. Here they are, they're taking off. Got very long legs. Late afternoon sun, that golden light is just beautiful. That's the swamp harrier again. I think he's a swamp harrier. I'm not sure. Someone might correct me if they see that and tell me otherwise. That's just a cormorant again. This was taken last year. These are all shots now. I think we're coming up to shots that I took last year around about the same time last year in the same location. It's a singing honeyeater. Now this is the big sand hills that are on the other side of the from where we were looking at before. You walk over the top of the sand hills, you get this amazing big ocean beach there. Excuse me. And those 4 black and white birds are pied oyster catchers. I'd never really got any good shots of them before, but I got these beautiful shots of these birds last year. And they, as the water was coming in and out, they were running back in with the water as the water was going out, running back with the water and getting food out of the shallows there. A lot of people get cockles to go fishing with in the shallows on this big ocean beach here. Lots of fishermen gather cockles and then use them for bait for fishing. Beautiful birds. Have the sooty oyster catcher and the pied oyster catcher. This is actually a Pacific gull, I think, this one. Some of the wildflowers in the sandhills there. And these things were, once again, were out in bloom as well. About the same time last year. Now this is on the Goolwa barrage, which is like a big weir that goes across the river. And it does something about the difference between the salt water and the seawater, I think. I don't know that it makes much difference there, but it's to regulate the size of the depth of the water, I think. I should study that up. There's the barrage. Goes across. And you can walk right across there, and there's lots of birds. You'll see a lot of birds on the other side in a minute. Seals come and stay there as well. There's a few resident seals around the place. There's one of our black swans. There's the seal. There was just a couple there that day we were there. Look at all those pelicans and black cormorants there as well. There's another white egret like the one we saw in the lagoon before. Looking back towards those sandhills with the ocean beach on the other side there. And here's a tern. Not sure what tern he is, whether he's a Australian tern, Caspian tern, Arctic tern, I'm not sure. I should check it out. There's a lot of them down there. As I was saying before, thanks for watching. Like if you like, and we'll see you next time. Enjoy the rest of your day, whatever time of the day and whatever part of the world that may be. See you later.